Peace. My name is Homeboy Sandman. I'm in Boston this evening rocking at Middle East with my people's The Difference Machine, and we're gonna get busy. I love performing. I put a lot of energy into it, and I think the energy transfers. I'm having a lot of fun, and I think people see me having fun, and then some fun rubs off on them, and I don't get tired up there. It's just a real energetic thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't I feel like it's real cool that people think I got a cool performance style because I'm just up there having crazy fun. I got these bars I think are crazy. I'm spitting bars. You know what I'm saying? I love the attention and all that, so I'm just having a great time. The best crew I've seen live, man. I've seen the Roots crew and they rock live crazy. They I haven't seen them top, but who else really gets biz, yo? My boy I Am Many in Brooklyn really gets super biz too, yo. Yeah, High 97 is it's anti-black radio, so I like to call it anti-black. I mean, ain't nothing could be more anti-black than a bunch of songs about selling coke to black people. What I did was I did a 15-song sampling the other day, and it was 14 songs that I wouldn't even want my kid. I mean, I don't have any kids, but I wouldn't even want my kids reading the titles. You know what I'm saying, of these songs. It was all crime, lust, and drugs, and nothing positive going on. And it was Happy. Happy was the other song, so it was, which is good. I like that song, But the Pharrell song Happy. But yeah, High 97 is I can't stand High 97. I see kids, kids really buy into a lot of the garbage, and they get taken advantage of because they're kids, I mean, adults get taken advantage of too, but I can't stand High 97, I can't stand BET. I can't stand these networks that are just these bloodsucker networks or radio stations. I can't stand them. The thing is, it's all connected, High 97 and Double XL and Complex, and these things are all in BET, and MTV. That these are all owned by the same people. I wrote an article once that was talking about it. It's called Jailhouse Rock, the truth about hip hop and prison for profit, and I talk about all these are all entities that are owned by the same people that are being used to promote the same thing, to push the same products, and to push the same revenue generating lifestyle. Not revenue generating for the listeners or the people who buy into it, but revenue generating for the people who are pushing the stuff. And I don't mean revenue generating from the aspect of selling music. Music sales are at all-time low. I mean generating revenue from the advertising and things that are sold through advertising. When you listen to hip-hop, hip-hop is the things I'm talking about, the stations we're talking about are primarily product placement music. You know what I mean? Every verse has various products in it. It's all very obvious stuff. It's kind of bizarre. It's kind of bizarre how people talk about this stuff like it's art. It's like pretty much the equivalent of calling like a Doritos commercial art, But, at the same time, shouts to Chuck D, speaking out, shouts to Manny Faces. There's a lot of people, DMC has been speaking. Rick Ross has been speaking. When I say Rick Ross, I'm talking about Rick Ross. I'm talking about the real person. And they've been talking about, the fact that what's going on is posturing to push a anti-us agenda. I expected it to like go around the internet a lot. I don't know if I feel comfortable calling that a reaction. I like to think that action is involved in reactions, which I don't know if there's been too much of that, but I would love for there to be some action, and I have connected with some really, really solid brothers and sisters off that article, and actually there has been some action. You know what I mean? There has been some boycotting that's starting to take place, and there has been some, there has been some cop watching that's been taking place as a result of that too. But this is on a real life grassroots level, which to me is the only level that's real, But, like we were saying before the thing got started, it's hard to tell what's true beyond your 10-foot circumference. But with that article is about is about us being bullied and not standing up for ourselves with our actions. You know, I make a point to not even mention Donald Sterling in the article. It doesn't even say his name. I used the thing that was going on with him as like a jumping point to talk about a bunch of other things. So yeah, but I would love for there to be some reaction to that. And I've seen a little, but I would love for there to be a lot. Rap I love doing every day. I love writing music every day. But writing the article, essay type pieces, that's less common because it kind of just comes in spurts. Like I wrote that one, you know, I was doing my laundry and I came back from putting my laundry in the dryer and I saw that, you know, the Clippers' response was to turn their shirts inside out, you know, and that just incensed me given the atmosphere of things. And so I just wrote that piece. I just wrote it and, you know, I think I might have left my clothes in the dryer and gone and got them like a few hours later. But and so that's how it happens with that, you know. And like the piece that I wrote about the prison industry, like I just wrote that in a weekend. Like that's all I did. You know what I mean? I researched it. But you know, I like doing that. But that comes to me more like in spurts. You know, I gotta be honest. I don't like the way the word hip hop is being used. You know, like hip hop used to be something that where talent and authenticity were included in the definition. And now it's being broadly used to kind of cover a bunch of things that don't have anything to do with talent or authenticity. And, you know, those things come to mind when I think of, well, what's up with that? But why are we calling those things hip-hop? I mean, hip-hop began as talent and authenticity. And you know, I don't want to allow other people to define it for me. If for somebody to walk into this room right now and do something that wasn't artfully and talentfully putting words together, I wouldn't be convinced that was hip hop. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna call it that. So yeah. As far as talent, artful hip hop, I think it's representations of people's lives. I think it's representation of people's gifts and their souls, and everything that's authentic and talent based. I think has its place. Well, I commit my life to making music. You know, that's what I love to do. It has nothing to do with the music industry. You know, like I make records is what I do. You know, like I'm very blessed. I'm blessed to, you know, rock Middle East and do shows. Like I'm blessed to have like it's an amazing blessing. You know, but you know I don't make records. You know, I don't you know make records as my career. You know, like I make records. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, it's the music first. You know, I got way more unreleased stuff than I got released stuff. You know, I don't even make songs to put them out. I make songs because that's what I do. You know what I mean? And then I put them out. I mean, I love putting them out. I want to get everything out, but you know, at this point, I still have way more unreleased stuff. But I make that because making art is artists understand. You know, everybody's not an artist. You know, that word artist is another word that's thrown around. Like, what's an artist? A famous person. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Artists know what it is. You know, my sister's an artist. She's a visual artist. And she paints every day. She draws every day. She's an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things messed up in the art world or whatever, but that doesn't kill her motivation to draw. She can't stop drawing. She loves drawing. She loves painting. You know, so same goes for, you know, other types of art from dancing. You know, everything could really be art. The passions that people have, you know, architecture is art, you know, like carpentry is art, you know what I mean? Science is art for people, you know what I mean? The passion of it. So I feel blessed to have a drive that is really independent of, you know, what's going on outside of me. Hallways is coming out September 2nd. That's my next full length. It's going to be released on Stone Store Records, House of Stone Store. And that's finished. I was looking at the artwork today. We got a beautiful photograph that Lauren Jaslow took, and Andrew Huffman is adding some amazing art. Andrew Huffman makes art every day. He's an artist. You know what I'm saying? And we're working together with Jeff Jank, the art director at Stone's Throw, to make a album cover I'm really, really excited about. But as soon as that cover is finished, we're gonna announce it. But yeah, other than that, I'm working on a bunch of different jams and just writing, because I never really work on projects. I work on songs, and then I figure out a way to, put them together and get them out. But I'm working. I was writing to an Eric Lau beat. You know what I'm saying? Earlier, I was writing to a Blue beat earlier. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been working on. You know, just right now. But who knows where those will turn up? Peace and love is Homeboy Sandman representing with NEHip-Hop. All right, word. Yo, peace and love. Shouts to Beantown. You know what I mean? I always been a Met fan, not a Yankee fan, so I got no beef with y'all. Even though I don't really follow the Mets too much anymore either. But I do know that actually it was the Mets. I'm in '86. You know what I'm saying? We took y'all out that year in the World Series. Remember that was the Buckner year and all that. But why'd I bring that up? I come to a Boston interview. I'm like, yo, Billy Buckner. That's probably. But the point is peace and love and thanks, yo. Good looking out.